This week, I'm going to be going over KWL charts. KWL charts are used throughout a thematic unit to activate student background knowledge, provide students scaffolding as they ask questions, and to help them organize information as they are learning. So at the beginning of a thematic unit, a teacher will place a KWL chart at the forefront of the room. They will then guide the students through a whole group activity to fill in the chart components. For instance, if I was a teacher and I was teaching a thematic unit in my second grade class, I would then set up a KWL chart and I would ask students, K, what do we know? This is your background knowledge. W, what do we wonder about the topic we are talking about? And L, what we have learned. So the KWL chart is a living, breathing document that changes and is updated throughout the unit. So if we were doing a unit on, there we go. Now, let's say if we were doing a unit on past, present, and future. So we want to know how the people of the past, and we're learning how the people of the past, their lives differed from ours today. So we know, a student might know, that maybe they didn't have cars, did not have cars. And maybe they also know that they did not have computers. But maybe the students wonder, how did they get around? And maybe the students wonder, how did they communicate? So, and then we would set these two columns up at the beginning of the thematic unit, and more things can be added as we go. So throughout the session, the teacher will be at the front of the classroom writing the student responses in the requisite columns, essentially. And the students will be the ones providing what components or what information needs to go into each of the columns. So this is a student-led whole group activity that is essentially designed to help these students make connections to the thematic unit information and content, connecting that back to their own prior knowledge, what they already know, and then also generating interest because it's asking them what they want to know about the course content. As a whole group, we would complete the K and W columns of the chart at the beginning of the unit. And then the L column would be left to fill in as we work through the course material. So let's say throughout the lesson, we learn that while, yes, people from the past may not have had cars, they had bikes, horses, wagons, etc. They had all these other things. And as we learn these things, we would write them down into the learned column. Essentially, we're answering the questions, their what I wonder question, and placing those answers into the what I have learned column. And then at the end of the whole unit, we will go back through the chart and essentially address or see how far the students have come from the beginning of the unit, when they knew some things, but not everything they needed to know, what they wanted to know, and then what they ended up learning. When it comes to the Georgia Standard, I believe that KWL charts can be used fairly effectively to help students, to help second grade students meet the Georgia Standard ELA GSE 2W2, write informative explanatory texts in which they introduce a topic, use facts and definitions to develop points, and provide a concluding statement or section. I believe that through making and cultivating a KWL chart, it will allow students to collect pertinent information and help them meet this standard by giving them essentially a list of things, a list of facts, and a list of information that they can use in order to create their informative or explanatory texts. Other than that, that is all I have for KWL charts today. Thank you for listening.